So thank you so much for everyone tuning in. We're going to kick it off here on Calm Before the Storm. Robin, can you introduce our players here?
I would love to. Terran player up here, his name is going to be Dragon. He's going to be the blue guy. This guy is famous for his Hellions. He loves to make some barbecue going down, roasting drones left and right. Expect to see that in this game. Down here in the bottom right corner is going to be Roxterra, also known as Slayer Cella, one of the coaches for Slayers. I do believe Boxer actually took the lead up there as of late. Nice little tidbit that's been happening lately over on that Reddit forums. But nonetheless, guys, down here in the red corner, Cella, ready to go. Calm Before a Storm. Pretty huge map, Froden.
Absolutely. I'm going to check XSplit real quick just to make sure the settings are all correct, and they are. That is amazing. No overlay issues on the first try. We are off to a great start here, Robin. And, of course, just like you said, both players have their perspectives or respective styles. But, again, they could change it up. Both of these players, I would definitely say that they are entertainers first just because of how they interact with fans. Of course, everyone knows infamous stories of how Cella and his holy check meme that's been passed around and him falling asleep on stream and
getting more viewers falling asleep. I wish I could fall asleep and get myself to 20 viewers on a stream. Holy moly, he got I think he landed like 6,000 towards the end of it. It was ridiculous. I even checked in. It's kind of cute actually just watching Cella passing out on stream. It makes you kind of get a little bit of a smile on your face.
Yeah, man.
Cella just in general so much fun. But right now it looks like he's going to go ahead and go for a potential 16 hatchery here. Going to expand down here on the low ground, which is a better choice. Of course, if playing on this map, you want to be able to beef up your natural in terms of defense. At this point, you can throw up a couple of spine cars, really utilize your creep, unlike a Terran player who can kind of wall on at the top of their ramp. And we actually have Dragon going for a command center first into a refinery here.
Yep, so it looks like after his command center finishes, he's going to try to transition as immediately as fast as possible to a factory style play. Just like Robin was saying, he loves his Hellions. It could be that. Now it looks like at the same time we do see that Cella, just like you said, going for that lower ground expansion with more minerals and gases because it's a fuller expansion. The one here on the kind of a backdoor lower ground expansion here is with the two Vespian geysers here is interesting because if you can secure this natural expansion first, grabbing that expansion as a third is much easier. It's just more flow of natural versus if you actually do it. So it looks like Cella's going to go ahead and get both of these. So a very, very economic centered play, but that's definitely going to be okay because Dragon opened up command center first. So very strong macro openings from both players right now, Robin.
Yeah, and like I was saying, as a natural going down the top right corner, it's going to allow Cella to throw down Spineclaw pretty fast, even get an evolution camera up really quickly, and just beef up that natural in general, forcing Dragon to go for some kind of drop play if he really, really wanted to, if he wanted to go for an earlier attack. But yeah, definitely Cella going for that macro game here. Got 2 queens popping out right now, a couple drones being accumulated right away as well. 2 Lings already on the field. Notice he only grabbed 2 here. It looks like he just wants to grab the Zelnaga, scout out his opponent. He knows he's not in the top right corner from that Overlord, so only really needs to one to go to the bottom left, one to go right across the middle of the map, and from there he can kind of gauge what exactly Dragon is doing. And especially since this map is such a elongated map, at the 4-player map as well, it's really hard to know where your opponent's going to spawn, so he shouldn't expect any cheese out of Dragon. But as we were stating, man, Dragon dropping down that factory, about to finish up pretty soon, as well as that reactor, so reactor Hellions on the way immediately here, though. Cella's already been throwing down a Roach Warren.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have their timings down pat. Now, of course, Cella, he was a player at one point in time. He wasn't actually a coach forever. In fact, back when Wera was still a clan, do you still remember that, Robin? Back when Wera had a lot of Warcraft 3 people, Cella was one of the premier players on that team, and he even made a GSL code. Well, it wasn't Code S at the time. It was just a GSL championship back in Season 1. So that is Cella. So he still has that ability to play at a pretty high level. Just, of course, he's now a coach for Slayers. So he is going to have all these timings down pat. He knows what Dragon can do, and he looks up and sees a factory and a barracks. He doesn't see that Dragon's actually going for a fast third command center, which is, again, a really good play considering the fact that Cella is going for 3 hatcheries. So at this point, again, both players really focusing on their early game macro, but that's what this map really fosters just because of these expansion pathings.
Yeah, and this Spine Car is about to finish up before the first two Hellions even get here. Perfectly timed out here by Cella. There's a Roach there as well. But Dragon did see that Roach, so he's aware that Roach play is a possibility on this map. He might want to transition into some kind of Marauder play. And actually, he already has, looking over into his main. He's got a Tech Lab down on his rack, so there we go. First Marauder popping out right about meow. So no Roach aggression should be coming in any way, shape, or form. And two, Roach aggression is really hard to pull off on this map because they're so darn slow in the early game without having any speeds. They would take forever to get across the map. So shouldn't be expecting too much in terms of that. And the 4 Hellions are completely out here for Dragon, and he's going to go ahead and start maneuvering his way across the middle of the map, grabbing that Xel'Naga, and just trying to keep an eye on what exactly Cella might be sending his way. Just keep the Hellions within the area of the natural. Just get an idea of what will be coming from the exit of Cella's.
Yeah, and it looks like actually one Hellion was picked off there.
Boom.
By Cella. So, but Dragon does have 4 more Hellions. Now, if you're not careful, especially with Marauder's support, Hellions can do incredible damage in early game TVZ, as many Zergs will tell you. And it looks like right now Cella, he's just been droning though. He's up 46 to 36, so very standard lead here going into 8 minutes. And of course, Cella's economy is going to explode soon because he can drone up because he has queens at every base. He's starting to spread his creep very nicely. So again, a very solid opening. You can tell his build order is very crisp because he's not overloading on gas or minerals just yet. He does have 4 gases, and he's taking his 5th and 6th right now as well. So he is also going to be teching very heavily very soon as his layer is just starting.
I like what Cella's doing down here in the very bottom left corner. He's throwing down a Spine Crawler already at his 3rd base, just to make sure if any Hellions did come on by, he would have a way of dealing with them. Very smart here as well, since he already has that 3rd up pretty fast. He knows he can kind of afford to go ahead and throw down a Spine Crawler or have a nice drone lead. So really cool there, and I actually like that he's doing that. And I'm definitely going to start doing that in my plays whenever I play on this map. But looks like Dragon's going to start getting aggressive here. A lot of Hellions on the way. He's got those Marauders, which add a nice amount of oomph, as you were mentioning. They really cut into Spine Crawlers really fast, kill off Roaches as well. The best way to really hold this off from Cella is we're going to need to see Banelings and Queens, and then a lot of Ling support, and maybe some Roach support as well. But we don't have a Baneling nest anywhere, so it's going to be a little bit iffy on holding this. So here we go. Dragon just going to group up here, even adding some Marines in here for extra DPS. This looks like a really strong push from Dragon.
Oh man, I mean, he's got a good number of Marauders. Stim has finished, just like you said. The Zerglings are actually going around, and he's going to see a 3rd command center here. So looks like Cella already knows. He says, wait a second, your army's not even there at your base. Where is it? And he's going to discover that it's right outside of his natural expansion here. Now, of course, Cella is making 11 drones. Oh my goodness, he just committed 11 drones to 11 larvae to drones.
Oh dear.
That could turn out really bad, Robin. Looks like Slayer Dragon very intent on pushing in here. Marauder Hellion is actually a very sick composition against Roaches if you can get a good position. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and force himself in here. Cella's already pulling drones here. The Overlord's blocking a lot of vision, but it looks like at this point, Dragon has a huge advantage, but the Roaches are going to be able to do a lot of cleanup damage, but after sacrificing so many drones, I'm not sure if it'll be worth it. We're going to have to find a damage report, but for the most part, Dragon has done a considerable amount of economic damage right now as he's killed 27 drones, Robin.
Yeah, that's look at the numbers really quick. It's 56 to 57 actually in terms of harvesters for both our players. So overall, Cella does kind of stabilize, but he's going to need another hatchery up really soon. Remember, Dragon does have the 3 command centers up. He has another push, potentially maybe on the way once again. He's got level 1 armor and level 1 infantry weapons about to finish up as well. So if Dragon keeps with aggression, it might get harder and harder for Cella to actually hold on to that. He lost so many drones in that engagement. It's a good thing he retained his Roaches, but there's so many Marauders already on the way again. The Marines as well. The 1-1 going to be going down. Checking over into the upgrades here for Cella really quick. He is at 1-1 as well, but still, it's going to be iffy holding this. He just droned up again. 6 more drones on the way. He's got a lot of upgrades. Roach speed will be here, but not level 2 and level 2 melee and armor for his Zerg units.
Oh my, Robin. Looks like Dragon already starting to take out creep tumors. Very good. Oh no, Cella's not paying attention. He's going to lose several Overlords, which is very key if he wants to make any more units. He's making 9 meters, and of course, the Hellions are racing forward. There are a lot of drones here unprotected. Robin, that is absolutely terrible news. The Roaches are coming from behind, trying to see if they can flank the army here, but Dragon going to stutter step micro, and so is it a drone massacre here, as any unit that's popping out is also dying at an incredibly fast pace. Cella forced to retreat back to his main, but Dragon, his timing here is absolutely devastating for any Zerg player here.
Some meters are going to pop out here, and it looks like they're going to help clean it on up. But like you said, so many more drones right up there. Now a total of 62 drones have been killed off in this massacre, as you just said. Oh my gosh, really Dragon bringing his name to the title. The barbecue master, man, bringing up some Korean barbecue, even some American barbecue up there and there. Now we have some Marines and Marauders pushing out once again against the map right here. We have a 4th and a 5th following up as well. Dragon keeping up with the aggression. This is looking so darn scary here for Cella. There's a couple of Marauders in here, so it's going to be a little bit hard for these roaches to clean it up. He's trying to wait for 2-2 to finish up for his Zerglings, as he's got 6 roaches and 1 more meat on the way, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Roaches charging on in here. There is 1 queen available here as well. Stem does go down. Roaches running away. They're retreating. More drones might be going down on this day, as the hatchery is actually being picked apart at the moment.
Oh man, Dragon has too much. It's too much. He's doing so much damage here, and looks like at this point, Cella doesn't have really much of an option. His upgrades are just finishing, but how much is that going to actually do? He's lost that hatchery. That's 1/3 of his current production as he's trying to expand to the bottom center. But Dragon, his supply is so much better at this point. He's starting upgrades. Also, eventually he's going to catch up. He's making 2 more command centers, 1 here in the top right and the bottom left. He's double expanding. This is actually the style of play that Zerg loves to do in terms of double expanding across the map. And as a matter of fact, Dragon's going to go ahead and flip it on. Even these last few Marines are almost, I mean, they're just doing so much damage. These 3 Marines, 5 kills, 3 kills, you name it. These Marines are very decorated and will be honored at a very big feast when they go back to the Terran army.
Those roaches just don't have enough CPS to actually finish them off. The Medevac's keeping those Marines nice and sustained, but it looks like in the bottom left corner, another Marine push is coming, so some Medevacs there as well. It looks like this hatchery will be dying off, even a possible Overlord. Yep, there goes Bob the Overlord as he falls into the ground, and now the hatchery will be killed off as well. And another huge push on the way here. Oh no, those are SCVs actually transferring. There's a lot of fields available here for Dragon to actually head across the middle of the map if he wants to, but he's content with just doing a drop down here in the bottom left. There is a Spine Crawler and 1 Queen here. A second Queen joining in as well. But as he does this, 4 Marines are walking around the middle of the map, pinning up any Overlords. Dragon really just outplaying Cella in this game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely pulled Cella left and right, just continually put pressure on him and not really sacrificing much. He's just pushing out Marines, Marauders, and Hellions. I mean, those are cheap units. You can continue to reinforce them easily. You can just constantly push them out, and the whole idea is because they're cheap, you can keep expanding, and you're just gonna make more barracks. So I mean, Dragon's got 5 more barracks on the way. These roaches are completely outmatched, and looks like at this point Dragon is going to take game number 1, as Cella does call good game and does take this map here on Calm Before the Storm. So Dragon with a 1-0 lead here, Robin, and just like you said, it was his game that he just set the tempo and pace right from the get-go.